Hi guys, I'm out here walking again, but now I'm in the daylight. Hopefully the sun will not glare. I didn't even realize that yesterday. Right now the sun is behind a cloud, which is good. Okay, here's an update. I did a video last night in the dark, so I don't know how many people are actually going to watch that, because they'll think something's wrong here. But my voice is there, guys. Anyway, I thought I would go ahead and give an update. I am headed to Vancouver, Kalama, Kelso, Tacoma. That's the area. Okay, well, those places are kind of close together. I mean, they're spread apart a little bit, but they're up and down the same freeway. And my meeting tomorrow night is at Kelso, in Kelso. And anybody who wants to join, let me know. I'll give you the address. Starts at 7:30. I'm going to try to take enough. I'm going to take all I've got anyway of these samples. They're like try-it sizes, but they're twice as big as my first try-it sizes. My first ones were 3 grams. These are bigger. And if you keep them in the fridge where they stay solid, because they will melt in the heat. They're all natural, but coconut oil usually melts at 75 degrees, goes up to 74 solid, and then it turns into a liquid. Doesn't hurt anything, it just makes it a liquid. And when you go trying to use it, you use too much of it. Because if you have it solid, like a lip balm or something, then it'll last a lot longer, depending on what you use it for, which I'm going to share all the possibilities at the meeting. And what I need to do, maybe I gotta talk to Diana. Maybe she can record my presentation, and then I can use that instead of trying to make one before I go. I know it's gonna be great anyway. I just have to organize myself. But I do have quite a bit with me. And you know, you gotta spread the word. And sometimes the way to spread the word is by them trying it. Because who's gonna pull money out of their pocket? Unless they really believe in me. And until you know me, how do you know? Anyway, I can just tell you, and I am just so excited, you have no idea. My blood is pumping like crazy. So that's a good thing. If if it couldn't pump through my veins, I'd be in trouble. You know what I mean? Probably burst a vein or something. And this stuff also will draw out poisons. And myself, I think it would get in there and work on that. Work on tearing up that clog. You know, wouldn't that be something if you could dissolve the clog without having to go in and have stents put in? And this stuff seeps into your skin. And I know from experience that something that's dry and brittle can become soft and supple. And that's what we want, right? So it's a win-win. It's a total win-win. And so I really need my people that are in that area, Vancouver, Kelso, Kalama, Tacoma, Orting, all of you guys. Let's pull together. And whoever can make it to that meeting on Tuesday, it's in Kelso, tomorrow night at 7:30. Just let me know and I'll give you the address, okay? And there's no problem if you don't make it. But if you make it, that'd be great. I really don't know what we need as far as what they're doing. But, you know, it would be wonderful if I could share my message with all you guys. And I really feel like I need to be in person. You know, don't really want everything recorded probably, because I want to discuss some things and they're not really appropriate for some people on my channel. But I'm just going to put a disclaimer and tell them, do not open. Because I want to be free to talk on it. You know, I keep feeling like I can't share because certain ears and eyes. But I shouldn't have to feel like that. So, this is important stuff. Very important. And I can share and I can teach. And then really I should get a license and produce. I made this stuff for me and my husband, and we needed it. He was fighting things that he thought was cancer, and I was fighting things after I found out I had cancer. So, and what I say is also, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So, there's nothing wrong with putting this stuff on your skin every day. Just like we take vitamins to prevent things, or to keep it, not really prevent things, but to keep us healthier. I've been putting this on every day. Just put it on your veins on your wrist. No big deal. And that is one thing I'm gonna do at that meeting, is I'll put the ointment on my wrist and my hands after I've shown them to everybody. And then while the meeting goes on and stuff, then I can have them look after. I'm not sure how long it takes, but my veins do pop up. So that's another thing. I've said it before. But you know, when my mother went in, they could not get her veins. They stuck her and stuck her and stuck her. So I say, put my ointment on first. Wait 15 or 20 minutes. You know, do it before you go to the lab. Do it at home, because they don't just pop up and go back down. They will pop up, and they're dilated. It's wonderful. So I guess that's enough of that. I just want everybody to know that's in that area that I'm going to be there, and I am only going to have like a 3 or 4 day opportunity. I have a meeting tomorrow night, then I have Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, Saturday, and I'm coming home Sunday. So everything that we can shove into that space, gather me some people. I don't care if it's 500. Actually, I don't have 500 samples. But I can accommodate probably a lot anyway, but not like that. The thing is, I know how to make it. And I can teach and share. And that's what it's going to take. And you know what? You ain't got to grow it in order to make it. You can buy yourself some really good bud at the dispensary, and then get yourself some Everclear, and then there's a process that you do with that, and that's how you get the medicine. Okay, it can be very easy, but then what you're doing is you're taking the medicine from the plant. It's an extract, and it goes into the alcohol, and then to get the oil you need to evaporate off that alcohol. It is a process. And it does need to be done where there's ventilation. You don't want to do it in the house or have the room wide open. But there's other equipment. But I mean, if you're just doing it for your own self, you can do it. Get yourself a little rice cooker, and then you pour that alcohol content in your rice cooker. And you slowly evaporate off the alcohol. And the black oil that's left is Rick Simpson oil, okay? To get the product that I've got, like I said, there's processes, okay? The first thing what we did was, actually in our situation, we grew the marijuana. We know what we got because we grew it. We know what's in it. And then the alcohol pulls all that out. And you don't get a smoky pot because you're going to drench it in some alcohol, and you're going to rub it until all that stuff, it'll turn your alcohol black. And then you get rid of the alcohol and you've got the oil left, and you do that with the rice cooker, okay? And then, like I said, it's a process, and I probably shouldn't tell you guys all this stuff until I just have a class. But the things you'll need. Well, if you did it like me, you'll need a lot of things. So I don't know. Just do what I said. Just get yourself some Rick Simpson oil, and not from the dispensary. It's better if you make it yourself, or you know someone else who makes it, so you know what's in it. You know what you got, which should just be marijuana and alcohol. Okay, but then after that, I made something what I called liquid gold, because it is liquid gold. And what that was my first process. I mixed the Rick Simpson oil with fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated, very important, okay? So that was my first process. What I did was I got one of those magnetic stirrers, and someone is just making their own medicine. It's not gonna want to spend all that money. However, the magnetic stirrer is a heater too. And you can turn the dial to adjust how fast the stirring goes, and you can turn the dial to adjust the heat. But anyway, so first process, I also added sunflower lecithin, okay? The reason for that is it is an emulsifier. And when I was doing my research, you know, trying to learn all this stuff, it hit me. You know, sometimes you're reading something and it penetrates your brain. And I'll stop walking for a second. Let's see if I can figure out what I was saying. The point is, it said something that I was trying to figure out why it was important. And it's very important. And that is, sunflower lecithin is an emulsifier which mixes the oil to make it bioavailable, really. It'll mix two different oils together so that they can combine and attach to each other, so that when you have that in your system, you know, like trying, the coconut oil is the vehicle to get the THC in you, okay? So you have a vehicle, which is the coconut oil, or it can be any other kind of oil like almond oil, or they have a lot of different oils that you can use, okay? But the coconut oil, I got the first one was the fractionated coconut oil, and I made liquid gold. And with that liquid gold, I could add some to my face cream, to my body cream, to any of your aches and pains creams to help you. It's a vehicle to get it in you or on you, okay? So if you're already taking something for pain, like if that was aspirin cream or ice, or I don't know how that would work. But the point is, the liquid gold you can mix with those things. Make your own. So when you're making your medicine, you can do that. Just do the fractionated coconut oil and mix that with the sunflower lecithin. And that stirrer does make a big difference. It's really nice. Okay. So then after that, I bought raw, unrefined. The first word is organic, okay? Organic, raw, unrefined coconut oil. And so then I mixed the fractionated coconut oil with that. Go back. My first process, the liquid gold, okay? I mixed the liquid gold with more sunflower lecithin and that coconut oil I was talking about. That's solid, okay? It's solid under 74 degrees, 75 degrees and above, that melts. And I've gone through different types of jars, and it comes out of all of them. Problem is, you know, I tried to fill the jars up. Well, you fill the jars up when they expand and stuff, they're overflowing. So you can't fill the jars up, and that might be one of my problems. But when you live in the heat, it told me I needed to add beeswax to help it stay solid for a higher temperature. So some of my stuff I did. I bought beeswax and I added it, and it's organic and all that good stuff. But really that stuff is most, oh, excuse me, I got something biting me or something. Okay. Let's see. Anyway, the point is that liquid gold can be mixed with everything, including the next process of my ointment. Because it's like you make a salve, okay? You make a salve, and then, you know, a little dab will do you. And you can rub it on your wrist. It'll last a long time that way. It's good in other places, and I'll discuss that at the meeting. you know, some private sexual talk. Wow, I'll share my experience with you, okay? And it is pretty wonderful, really it is. I'm talking to you women out there that have a problem being dry and sex is painful. Well, we can make you happy. And it's better than anything you're going to find on the market. Yeah, I'm saying a lot, but I'm talking about certain things, okay, which I'll talk about later. Anyway, point is, I told somebody the other day, he does not know what he's got hold of. He's got a tiger by the tail. Well, this product I've made, I feel like that's a tiger by the tail. It's gonna light up this world, and you guys can be a part of it. You know, it's gotta start somewhere. I know people are out there doing stuff, and I don't know what all they got going on. I just know what I saw at the dispensary, what I tried myself, and it smelt like chemicals. I don't even know if I tasted it. You know, I think I probably tried to rub it on my skin or something. But see, they're missing the mark. They're not making that for what I want. In other words, some people use that Rick Simpson oil to put on, say they make a pipe load and they're going to take a hit. And, you know, marijuana, after you smoke it a while, you just don't get high. If you smoke it too much, then you don't get high, or not as high, and then it doesn't last very long. So they're taking that Rick Simpson oil and putting a little dab of that on top of the bowl, which it enhances the buzz for sure. So that's another reason people are using that. But for me and my husband, we were using it to fight cancer, okay? And that's why I made it, and I made it strong. And my husband did the growing. We did it together, but he's the one who did all the nutrients and this and that. I paid the bills. But the point is, it is a process. And we were able to grow it for his, he had a plant count because he had, and still has, nerve damage. And they figure when you're growing, you're a low yield person because you're just starting, you don't know what you're doing, etc. And they're right. So the right person can get a whole bunch off of their plant, and the other one, and I heard them say, they figure around 2 ounces a plant. So they're not like, if you grow some, they're not expecting you to have much. And it's such a process. And the nutrients are expensive. And so are the electricity for the lights. It's better to grow outside. In fact, I found out that the strength, the buzz, will be a lot better if it's grown outside instead of under those lights and with all those nutrients. I believe, haven't done it to really compare, but I've watched a lot of videos of other people who did. And instead of expending all the money on the nutrients, when they're going to plant their plants, they get all this different stuff, and they, you know, it's kind of like when you're planting a garden. You till the ground, and you put the nutrients in the ground. And then as the plant grows, you ain't got to do that. Just water. So, I mean, it can be a lot more simple than it is, than people are making it. But after my experiences, I cannot afford it. It is not worth it. I would rather just go buy it. And that's the best way to do it. Don't even mess with growing it unless you do what I just said. Prepare your ground outside with all the different things it will need. Plant your plant and watch it grow. And it's stronger with the sunlight. That's the point. So if you can do that, do it as a hobby. You can make your own medicine, but you don't have to grow it, is my point too, though. You just go to the dispensary, depending on what your situation is. If you've got bad cancer, get after it. Buy the best. Buy the best they got on the shelf, and you ain't got to buy a whole lot to get started. You know, just do enough that you can do a small batch and get yourself started. And then you make another batch, okay? And with the Rick Simpson oil, the thick tar, they have a regimen, And they tell you how many grams you need to do. But the whole thing, people, is you're eating it. And so your digestive system is getting it. You're not getting it. And the particles in the Rick Simpson oil are too big to really be going through your gallbladder and stuff, okay? There's a big deal there. There's too much to talk about. So, my stuff, I think, is the way to go, because you're going to get it everywhere your blood goes. Everywhere your blood reaches in your body will get a dose. And it won't be detrimental. It'll be good. You know, it'll kill the cancer, but it won't kill you. You'll find it'll do a lot of other things that are good for you. And I know, I'm tripping. I'm tripping big time on my stuff, let me tell you. And I'm not talking about a buzz. I'm talking about what it will do for you. Everyone. And it doesn't get you high, people. Okay? I tried to tell somebody before, this stuff I got is a limited edition. It is wonderful, and I have it, and I'm willing to share and teach so that we can all make our own medicine, okay? That's the main thing. You can make your own. I'll teach classes. I'll be glad to, okay? I tripped. What I mean is, I did it, okay? I discovered it with my research, and when I say tripped, I tripped like fantastic, just trying to figure it out, okay? Figuring it out, and the different processes I went through. And here's another process, people. No matter, you buy it at the dispensary, no matter. You need to go ahead and decarboxylate your pot. Now, that's just to make sure, okay? Because what happens is, a lot of times, the demand is so high for the pot that they're not taking time to actually cure it. It has to be cured. So the only other thing is, what I'm trying to say is, to get it to THC, you have to decarboxylate it. And that is the first thing I would do. And what we did was we stuck ours in mason jars, you know, a loose fit, and you might break up the big nugs a little bit, you know, if you have big nugs, and break it up into 5 or 6 pieces. Anyway, you put that in your jar kind of loosely so that it's got room. You don't want to try to bake a whole big old stacked in stuff, you know, like a cake. No, you make it a little loose. And what you're going to do is you're going to put it in this jar, airtight, and you're going to put it in the oven at the temperature of 250 degrees. You know, and I'm going to say a half hour. Might not need to be in half an hour. But by God, look it up on the internet and make sure. And do it the right amount. My husband was just so anxious when he was making it in the first place that he missed some steps. And I told him, man, you got to slow down, because he smokes it. So when you hit it with fire, it gets you the high. It has the THC because you have activated it with fire. But if you're going to put it in the ointment, I found that, you know, all that stuff that he had, none of it affected me. I never felt like I was high at all. And the only way it worked was because he was lighting it. He was putting it on top of his hit, which I've done that too, and it does make a difference. But the point is, what is the point? I know I'm talking way too long. I just have a lot to tell you about this product and how to make it. So, you buy the pot, you go home, and you put it in a mason jar. You don't really have to break it up very much. You don't want to break it down to nothing. You put it in a mason jar and you stick it in their oven at 250 degrees for half an hour. Okay? It's not going to burn up your pot. What it's going to do is make your pot to where it's activated. So you have THC in it. And I'm serious, so many growers out there are not taking the time to cure because there's too much of a demand. People want pot and they don't care. And especially if they're gonna light it. You know, if they light it with fire, then they'll get their buzz. So they won't need to have it cured. But if you're gonna make a salve with it, or anything with it, you know, your edibles and stuff, I don't know about the edibles, but this is my opinion. Decarboxylate your pot. Then it will have the THC in it. And that's what you want. You want the THC. I mean, the other things probably kill cancer too, or stuff. I don't know. But I know from Rick Simpson and what he did with his stuff, he put it on their face, on their body, wherever they had melanoma. And it cured it, okay? The melanoma left. So if the THC, that oil, will do that on the outside, just think what my ointment's gonna do on the inside. You're not gonna lose your medicine. Your medicine is gonna seep into your skin and it's going into your bloodstream. I know for a fact because I overindulged because I was making it. And every time I pulled it's a cake decorating spatula, every time I pulled it out of the rice cooker, the coconut oil that was on the spatula would solidify a little bit, you know. Anyway, I got to where I was rubbing it up and down my arm where my veins are while I was making my stuff, blending it and all that. And I had too much on me, but I OD'd as far as I had too much. I didn't need that much. But I felt my blood rushing through my body. So I know. I mean, I felt it. And not the high of it. I just felt it rushing through my body. I'm sweating right now. I'm going to make one more lap. I know I've talked a lot. I'm just excited. I have not been this excited in a long time. Like maybe back when I had my experience where I was on fire. And I know the Spirit of God was in me. And it was a healing. It was a healing. I felt like he was in there burning up all them damn tumors. If there were some, you know. I had had a C scan and it said there was no tumors. Actually, I'm not sure if I'd gotten the results of that first or not, but it doesn't matter. You people out there, when you find out you got cancer and they want to give you a C scan, find out the difference. If a C scan and a PET scan cost about the same, do the PET scan. Tell them forget that C scan. I mean, really, when I had a C scan and I had a PET scan, and it was the same process. I mean, I had to do it outside in one of those mobile trucks, and I was in a tube, and I had the x-ray done and all that stuff. It was really the same. So if it's the same, and the cost is basically the same, forget the C scan and go for the PET scan, okay? They did not even offer me the PET scan. My naturopath, she was telling, you know, because I thought that C scan just was wonderful. I had no tumors, no nothing. And she says, well, yeah, that's good, but it only goes down to the size of a grain of rice. She said, you need a PET scan. A PET scan will go deeper and smaller. It will find the cancer, okay? So I had a PET scan, and it told us that I had no tumors anywhere except for I had 2 cancerous lymph nodes. So in my choice of treatment, what I decided I would do, you know, because I talked to the Lord about it, and I'm telling you, that was a true experience. At least 2 hours, I was on fire, and I was not in pain, okay? I was just burning, and I wasn't like sweating burning. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like the energy I'm feeling right now. Energy was soaring through my body, okay? But it wasn't just energy, I was on fire. So anyway, long story short, I had 2 surgeries, 2 scans, besides the bone density scan too. But I'm just saying, bypass the C scan and go ahead for the PET scan. It's the same damn thing. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't like that expression, but you know what I'm saying. Why have 2 scans when 1 will do? And why not go ahead and have the strong one? You know? I know that hospitals are great, but I know they have equipment to pay for, and staff to pay, and this and that. So, you know, they're not thinking about our pocketbook, they're thinking about theirs. And some people are just not thinking. It's okay, let's waste their money, because they're not going to pay the insurances. But you know what? If the insurance is Medicare, we are all paying. They're just, they shouldn't be doing things they're doing. Just like the thing with the pain center for my dad. And guess what? He's not the only one. You got all kinds of people in wheelchairs. I mean, they can't help themselves. You know they're in pain. You know they need the medicine. So why do they have to go in there and prove it? Why do they have to prove with a urine test that they need? I mean, what they're doing is proving a level in their system. And if they've abused their pills or whatever, you know, there's different situations. But when you get to a certain age, I think it's a little ridiculous. They're gouging the old people, and they're gouging Medicare, which is all of us, okay? So you just need to think about all that. All of you people out there, if you know somebody that could help figure out that law and get it reversed, I don't know who to go talk to, but I sure have passion about it, especially after watching what my dad's had to go through every month. He has to go in every month, and he shouldn't have to. And they can make it to where they just send him a month's supply. I mean, if they're worried about it that much, they could just have it to where he can get a month's supply every month without having to go in and see a doctor and get a new prescription. I think that's ridiculous. And I do think it's a way of gouging people and the insurance company. You know, there's a lot of bad things going on out there that they don't need to do. It's a little ridiculous to make a crippled who you can tell he's in pain, and they've got a record on him a mile long, you know, on everything that they've ever done and stuff. It's all a matter of the system. So why do they need to continue that? They don't. It is just a way. And I just looked at a bill, and it looked to me like the bill was $400 and some odd dollars. This was for me, okay? I had to have a mammogram done on my left breast to make sure there's no cancer in there before they will do my reconstructive surgery. So I had that done, and it came out clear. But the point is, I just got the bill. My part's $35. The original charge, I'm just guesstimating, I think it was like $459. And then they lowered it, they adjusted it to a certain point, and then the government paid that part, and I paid $35. Okay, it's all a big game. Nevertheless, I think you're getting my point. And somebody, the right person, needs to do something. I just don't know who to talk to about it. So I'm putting the word out there, you guys do it. Find somebody. I guess it's the legislative office, but you know, it's a matter of Big Pharma, and then a matter of the doctors, the pain center. See, the pain center is not even a part of his other stuff. It's an offshoot. But it is in need of fixing, okay? Just warning you guys, because when you get there, you're going to be in the same position. And if it's not you, it's your mother or your grandmother or your grandfather. There's a lot of people, and it's probably in every family, because we all have old people going through hell. You know, it's hard to be old in the first place. Why do they have to make it so rough? And still, I'm going to tell you, I said it in the other one. That doctor had the nerve to say, if my dad could not come out and drive himself to that appointment every month, then he belongs in a rest home. And I said it before, that's stinking thinking. People are crazy. And that doctor, just for that statement, should be slapped upside the head. And you know what? I should never wish on anybody anything. But in this instance, you know, you got to be careful. You do get judged with what you judge. And if it was me, I say, okay, old man, you're going to have this problem one day, and we'll just put your little ass in a nursing home and forget you. But that's not the way of the world. That is not the way it should be. And I thought that was a very callous statement of him. Doctors should care, not just about their damn wallet, okay? All right, I'm gonna be done with this walk here in a minute or two, but you guys have made it possible for me to go this long. So I've been walking 36 minutes, that's pretty good, because I would not be. I would not be if it wasn't for you. So anyway, like I've said before though, I am excited about life these days. Totally excited. I have a purpose in life, and that's what's going to save my life. And that's what will save you guys. You know, my naturopath, I'll tell you a lot about her, maybe not right now, but she wanted me to read a book, which I haven't done, and I forget the name of the book now. I probably have it in I saved my consultation with her, so it's in that. But the point is, and I mentioned it in another one, that it's a study done on people who survived cancer, and it's about people who had stage 4 cancer, let go to go home and take care of themselves. They said, we can't do anything else for you. And then they survived, okay? And the thing they had in common was they found a purpose. They found a reason to get excited about life. And so that's what we got to do. Find a purpose and get excited. And don't do everything the damn doctor tells you to without investigating. There are other options out there. You know, if you have no choice and you're just going to go by the way the insurance, what that covers, they don't, you know what, I'm not sure. If you get the right insurance, they might cover this other stuff. I think people just kind of tell you the wrong thing. My naturopath said if I wanted to go the way I was talking, which I was talking about low dose chemotherapy, okay? If I was going to do chemotherapy at all, then I would consider the low dose. And there is a way that they do it. And there is a couple places that do it. But she was saying that, you know, if you want $40,000, because the insurance won't pay for it. So my point is, people usually go with what the insurance will pay. And that means kill you. No, I know. It doesn't mean everybody will be killed. I'm just telling you, the odds are high. The odds are really high. They don't tell us how many people die in the first round of chemotherapy. And then they said the second round, another whole bunch dies too. You know, you gotta be strong to go through that stuff. And if they're trying to kill you, take it right. What I mean is they're trying to kill the cancer. But at the same time, they're killing you. And I remember I wanted to give my granddaughter nutritional stuff, and she said, I can't have it. I can't have it. They don't want me to have anything to save my life. You know? They want to take you to the end of your life and then pull you back. And what are your odds? I don't think they're very good. Myself, I've told you before what my decisions were. Maybe you should go back and look at those, because I can't do it justice. Not right now. But I made my choice to go with the Lord and go with my head, what I thought. And then I considered all things, my age, my life expectancy, how I feel now, how am I going to feel if I do what they want me to do. And I do not want to spend the rest of my life in misery, okay? And I know that if I die, I'm going to heaven. I know God is real. I know Jesus is real. And I know that I'm a good person. No matter if I don't live the word of wisdom. People get so caught up in some trivial bullshit that they miss the mark. The gospel is the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. Love the Lord. Love your neighbor. First, love yourself, and then the neighbor. I don't think people realize that God commanded us to love ourselves. In that statement where it says, love the neighbor as yourself, a lot of people don't love themselves. They don't know how. So, I'm telling you, that was a twofold commandment. Love your neighbor as yourself. So you got to love yourself. Otherwise, you ain't going to give a lot of love to the neighbor if you love them the way you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I know I've talked a million years. I'm at 41 minutes. But I'm having fun. And this is going to be my last lap because I'm kind of wore out. I already took a shower and now I'm all sweaty. How dumb. I sweat anyway. You know, I need to go take a pill. I never took anything for menopause symptoms. So I've gone through hell for many years. But I can't keep going through that. I cannot be sweating. I never had that problem when I was younger and going through menopause. I thought, oh, okay, I'm not going to have those sweats and stuff. Oh my God. Well, it saved it for now. But I did just start taking something. But here's another thing that I learned, you know. There's a lot of things. I'll have to go over that. But I don't want female hormones. My cancer, from those tests they did, lets me know that, no, you don't want hormones because my cancer will love hormones. So it's good that I'm old and I don't have much. She says, you probably ain't got much left anyway. So in some instances, that's good. In other instances, it is not. So anyway, they have a product out there that is not estrogen. They have it with a different name. It's supposed to be all natural ingredients and no chemicals and stuff like that. You have to have it in your system for a while before it really works. And then you gotta not forget to take it. Because I have a problem with that. Pills, me and pills. Nevertheless, I quit taking almost everything. But I definitely need help with this female menopausal, postmenopausal, and especially what happens is after you've had a mastectomy, then, I talked to a doctor. It was a blessing. He came to check on Dad because Dad had fallen, and this was a while back. Anyway, we were waiting for Dad because he was in the back. And so the doctor asked me how things were going. So I told him. I told him everything. And so he told, because I was worried the cancer had come back, okay? Because of the sweating, because that is one of the symptoms, sweating. But he said, no. He said, that's natural. Post-menopausal, having a mastectomy, he said it takes your hormones down to nothing. And so you go through a massive hormonal drop and it causes the sweats. So he said, no, that's a normal thing. I should have been taking something for it all this time. You know, I just love how your doctors really let you know what you should be doing. And then again, he was from the old school. He gave me, he didn't give me a prescription, but he told me what I needed to get. He says, the only thing that worked. So then I tried to get it, had to have a prescription. My doctor had gone on to something else, training other people, so she couldn't give prescriptions anymore. So basically, I didn't have a doctor anymore that could give me that stuff. So I went through hell, and I finally got him to give me 1 month's supply. But then when I went to go fill it up, shit. I wonder how long I've been talking without. Maybe it kept going. Anyway, when I filled it up, the lady, the consultation person, gave me an earful. And she says, we don't like to give this out. Why are you taking this, And I told her. And basically they're saying there's other things you can take. You don't need to take that. And then she was telling me it wouldn't even be in my system for 6 weeks. The stupid doctor only gave me a 30-day supply. Told me to find another primary care doctor. And here, trying to get into the doctor, you don't get into the doctor right away. When there's this many people, you have to wait. That's why I've waited so long for this stupid surgery. I probably could have had it done by that guy that did me before, but there's some things about that I don't like. And this guy's a specialist that I'm going to go to. I've already been to him. I'm going to have a consultation on the 16th, which is next Monday. And then my surgery is on the 6th of November. And then there's just a bunch more to that. It's not just a matter of just going and having surgery and recovering. I thought it was. So anyway, they're kind of throwing my time schedule for a whirlwind. I'm not saying my right words, but you know what I mean. There's things I want to do. There's places I want to be. And I can't because I'm staying here for this surgery. I know in the long run it's going to be good. It's going to be very good. I've already seen his work. And I met somebody that told me about him through a happenstance, which I believe I was led to do by the Spirit. So I feel good about this guy. I feel good about what's going to happen. But I don't feel good about the time frame. And here's something, when you're in a smaller town, you do get better care. Not better care, faster care, okay? Because you're not fighting for so many people. In other words, this big business, even in Sterling, cancer, they got infusion, people for parking in the infusion place. And you walk into the cancer center and what do you see? Over on the right-hand side, a bunch of wigs on mannequins. Ha! Yeah, you're gonna lose your hair. And we got something to give you for that. We have wigs and we have bonnets and stuff like that, which is cool. I get carried away, I'm sorry. I don't know what my point was. The point is big business, people. Really big business, and they know their strategy. They know what they do. In other words, they do a regimen and that's it. They don't offer anything else. I tried to get them to find out about low-dose chemotherapy because I'd be willing to do that. Not now. I don't need to. I don't need it. Thank God I don't need it. But if you did need it, people, there's a place up, might be in Seattle, called Life Works. You look up Life Works. And what they have is there's a place there, and then I think there's a place maybe down by Eugene. I'm not sure exactly, but there's a place in Oregon, and there is a place up there by Seattle. And I bet you there's a place in Florida. But the point is, they do that low-dose chemotherapy. And they also do other things. They have many different therapies that the doctors and your regular medicine do not do. They do what they do, and these people do what they do. And the LifeWorks Center is not just for cancer, it's for all kinds of diseases. But it's a natural way to go. My naturopath did not tell me about them, I looked them up, okay? And she was saying that a regular doctor could actually do that. But they had to, the government don't want them to. Pharma don't want them to, okay? So the one doctor she was telling me about, she said, well, he's not in practice anymore because he got caught. I mean, he might have been going to come back after a year or two or whatever. Maybe they were just punishing him. But not cool. Why can't we have the good stuff? Why do they have to try to make money off of our pain and misery? You think they're trying to help you, and maybe they are. But also, maybe they just don't know any better. They're doing what they're told. Everybody does what they're told. And that's why they didn't know what the heck to think of me, because I was fighting it all the way. Anyway, that's okay. If I die, I die, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I got too much to live for. And I know I'm a good person. And I know God wants to use me, okay? For all you people out there. So, here I've been walking with my glasses on. I forget about them things. I got in the shower this morning with my glasses on. I believe I slept all night long with my glasses on last night because I laid down in the bed and then I got so much going on and I'm trying to get messages out and a video done. And anyway, so I'm laying in the bed with my phone and I can't read it without my glasses on. And then I fall asleep pretty easy too when I'm in bed laying down comfortable. I'll be gone. And once my eyes close, I'll be gone for hours. So I was up at 3:33 this morning doing video and stuff. And 3:33 is my numbers, guys, and they have been showing up everywhere, which is a good sign. 333 is the trilogy, the Trinity. God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. Well, see, I do have the Holy Ghost in me, so that's God. And the Holy Ghost, as far as I'm concerned, is Jesus. So I've got Jesus in me, the Spirit of the Lord. And like I've said before, you can have it too. But all it really takes is faith. You got to believe. You got to pray. You got to have a relationship with Him. Okay? Remember, He's your Father. And if you don't have a father on this earth, you got one up there. Remember that. Okay? You got a father and a mother up there. This is going to be my last little thing. I'm going to go into the house here when I reach the house. But I have been walking 51 minutes. That's pretty good. Now, what I've been telling you guys about this window of opportunity I only have this week. So let's make it a great week, okay? But then, you people that are here, say Kennewick, Pasco, Richland, for sure, that area, because I'm here. Most of the time I'm here. I'm at Dad's house in Kennewick. And I know people in my own family have cancer that I would like to help. But I just don't know how to tell you guys about it. Everybody has got their feelings about marijuana. Oh my God, what a horrible thing. The evil weed. Oh my God, God gave it to us. It is not evil. What is evil is keeping it away from the people. That is the evil thing. And throwing them in jail. Oh my God. Travesties are everywhere, okay? And yeah, now there's war going on over there, but we knew it was coming. And I'm telling you, if we don't do something, it's coming here, baby. It's already here. And yes, baby, it's for all you people out there. Because I told you before, I love you all, okay? I don't love you the way I'm going to love my man. I don't love you the way I love my daughter because she's out of my body. But I still love you guys, okay? I'm not trying to give you any harm in any way. And I don't know how long I have left. You know, my naturopath says, you know, what would you do if I told you you could live to be 98? You know, she says most people don't want to live to be 98 because they're afraid of losing their marbles. And I agree. I don't want to live to be old if I'm going to be miserable. Or if I'm going to be oblivious. I still don't want to live like that. I don't want to be at someone else's mercy. Only Jesus' mercy, okay, you guys? Because He does have mercy for us. If you've got major problems from your past and you got sins you don't think you can be released of, you can. But you got to take it to the Lord. And you got to be serious about it, okay? People don't really understand. My dad says something about deathbed repentance. Well, guess what? Repentance is a process, okay? You can't at the last minute say, oh, well, you can. You can ask for forgiveness, but you haven't had time to really, they call it fruit meats. Fruit meats for repentance. In other words, you got to show that you're serious. Do good deeds. Do good works. Do what you're supposed to do. But it is between you and the Lord, okay? You just got to realize He's real. He's real, and He loves you. You know, Jesus is our brother, but Jesus is the God of this earth. I do believe it. I'm telling it, but I tell it like I believe it, but you know, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty dadgum sure I'm right. That Jesus has to be the firstborn spirit of mom and dad too. Firstborn spirit of their spirit children, okay? And Satan was probably right up in there in the same time frame. Excuse me. You know, it's a matter of the CEO of a business. The owner gives somebody the chance to run it, the chance to do everything, and have it become theirs when they get to a certain point, you know? So I think about it like Jesus. He is doing it. He's doing it for his Father above, but he is the one in charge. He is the one, like it said in one of those scriptures, that he created everything in the heavens and the earth, and everything in them that are. And I am not saying my right words, but you know what I'm saying. And yeah, I got to go in there and rest. I have walked 56 minutes. How cool is that? Okay. My naturopath wanted me to walk. She says, work your way up to an hour a day. But it's not a day. She wants an hour continually. Okay? So I have to come out and walk for a continual hour. And for now, I can't do it. But I did just do it while I was talking. 56 minutes. I made it 56 minutes. Okay. It's dark out here. I need a rest. Listen, people. I hope some of you guys can get together. If you guys can make it to the meeting in Kelso tomorrow night at 7:30, I've got an address, and Kelso's a small place, and I believe it is downtown Kelso. Should be close to the freeway. So I need for you guys to send me a message. Okay, here's my email. Or just send me a message here, but you know, sometimes things get lost because there's so much. Okay, here's my email. mlp54@icloud.com. Contact me there, okay? I will get those. So again, my initials, MLP, my birth year, 54, at icloud.com. Okay, I'm going to be there tomorrow night. If you guys can come, that would be wonderful. If you can't, and you know some people, and you want to have a gathering, let me know. Like I said, I got to have a place to stay somewhere. I got a place tomorrow night. I don't have a place Wednesday and Thursday. I think I got Friday and Saturday covered, but I got to contact them too. I'm not sure. If I don't have a place to stay, I'll be coming back home, and that will be a tragedy because it's a long ways there. I think I've got at least 5 hours to drive, and I don't want to drive there and have to turn around and drive back, okay? And I'm going to have, like I said, I'm going to have my stuff, and I'm going to share. So that should give you some incentive, okay? And you can bring a friend. Bring a friend with you. Or tell me, hey, we want to get together, let's meet somewhere, blah, 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 and send out a blast and get as many people as you can to come. A long time ago when I was into Avon real big, the manager, regional manager, or whoever it was that would come to town, okay, she would do meetings at the bank for free, okay? Sometimes the banks have rooms, what do they call those things, you know, where there's a, anyway, it's a place where executives all meet and discuss things, and I can't think of the name of the table right now, but it's a big table. But the point is, the bank will let you use their rooms, and if they do charge us a small amount of money. So we could gather somewhere, if we could just find a room to meet. Or if you want to meet out, you know what, Kalama, my friend lives in Kalama, they got a beautiful park with an amphitheater. So, I mean, I could talk right there. All you people could sit around me and I could talk. So, we don't have to worry about somewhere. if you want to do Klamath. And then also any park will do. You guys put something together and I'll be there. But I only have a few days. So then when I get back here, I would love to continue this. So all the people that are in the Tri-Cities, and not just the Tri-Cities, what about the Dalles and White Salmon, Lyle? You guys get it together. You don't know what you got right in your neighborhood, and it's me. And I don't know how long I'm going to stay here either. I'm on the move, okay? Things are happening. My life is changing, and I'm not really sure exactly where I'm going, but right now I'm here. So let's take advantage of that, okay? Thanks for everything, and I will say goodbye. Remember that email, mlp54@icloud.com. Thank you.